Now before I make my 2025 vision board, I think it will be kind of fun to just reflect on this 2024 one. And I did not do really well on that one. This was my Notion page for 2024. I literally have like 47,000 photos and videos. This clutter might be part of the reason why. So I literally used this app in high school back when I studied chemistry, but it's been like 3 years since then, so I don't know why I still have that. Hello everyone and happy 2025. Now the day I'm filming this, it is actually January 1st. So to anyone who's watching this, I just wanted to say a very happy new year to you guys. Now at the start of every year, something I like to do is a big life reset. So that's what I'm going to be doing today and you guys can follow along. Now obviously you can do this like whenever you want, but I do find that the start of every year just gives you like a nice clean slate to work with. I did a lot of this at the start of last year as well, and I do think it really helped me make the most of 2024. So let me teach you these 5 things you can do to really set your year up for success. So at the start of every new year, I'm sure we all set New Year's resolutions and then by the end of the year we all forget about them. While actually achieving these resolutions are actually up to yourself, I think there are some goal setting steps you can take to make it easier for yourself. Now my first and biggest tip for making New Year's goals is actually to make quarterly or monthly goals instead of annual goals. Now at the start of this year I actually did set annual goals, but I found that by midway through the year or a few months into the year I'd get a bit lost with these goals. So for example, one of the goals I have this year is to just have a bit more structure and routine in my lifestyle. And so I would make that my overarching annual goal, but every quarter I will set smaller goals that will eventually bring me to that larger goal. So one of my resolutions for the first quarter of the year is going to be to wake up at 8 AM or earlier every day. Now my second tip for making a New Year's resolution is to make it more trackable. I'm sure you guys have heard this a lot, but say for example one of your goals is to start exercising more in the new year. Instead of your resolution being like, I want to exercise more, try make it something more like, I want to exercise 5 times a week, with one of the times being Pilates or something like that. This just helps keep you more accountable because you can easily say, oh, I didn't exercise 5 times a week. Whereas if you say, oh, I just want to exercise more, it's like, what does more actually mean? Now for my third tip, I think it's really important that we all write down our New Year's resolution onto a physical sheet of paper so that we can stick it somewhere and see it every day and just be reminded that these are the goals that I've set for myself. Now last year I actually had it typed up in my notes app on my laptop, but obviously you don't see that as often, so this is something I'm going to be doing this year as well. Now let's get into some of the goals that I actually have set for myself.
I do have trouble maintaining quite a good sleep schedule, so I do have quite a few sleep goals, but other than that I would also like to lead a healthier lifestyle, so with that comes exercising more as well as restricting the amount that I'm eating out. In terms of family goals, since I do live away for uni, I would like to call my parents more as well.
Now something else I like to do at the start of every year is to make a vision board, so this is the one that I made for 2024. Now before I make my 2025 vision board, I think it will be kind of fun to just reflect on this 2024 one and see how well I did. Let's start with the pictures that had actual tangible goals attached to them. So this first one up here, I wanted to learn Chinese a bit more throughout the year, and I would say I kind of did that. I started using Duolingo and I had like a pretty long streak, but I found that Duolingo didn't really help me, so I think this is something I'm going to want to continue in 2025 and just find a better way to learn Chinese. So I have a picture of a girl running here because at the start of 2024 I set myself a goal that I wanted to run a half marathon, and I did actually complete that by May of 2024, so I'm really proud of myself for that. That definitely would have been one of my biggest achievements. I wanted to gym more in 2024, except I feel like training for my half marathon kind of took over gymming and I wasn't really able to find a good balance between gymming and running, so all my time was kind of used up on running. But now that I have more time exercise-wise in 2025, I think going to the gym is definitely going to be a big goal of mine, as you saw in my New Year's resolution. This picture over here was because I wanted to drink more water in 2024. I don't know why, but I actually suck at drinking water, except I would say that I did not do really well on that one, so this one might be one that I have to carry through to next year. This year, actually. I put this picture here because I wanted to go to more concerts, and I did. I went to Taylor Swift and Coldplay, so I would say I definitely did that one. For this one, I would say I wanted to vlog and post my life a little bit more. I wouldn't really say that I did that one too much, so I think this will definitely be one that carries over into this year. I would like to post more vlogs and things like that, documenting my life on YouTube, and I'll be posting one soon. Actually, me and my friends recently just went to the beach And I had some overall just reading ones. So this year I actually read around 36 books, which isn't as high as I hoped for because last year I read something crazy like 72 books or something like that. So the goal I set up for myself for 2024 was 50 books. But I think that one was kind of hard for me because I started working in September of 2024 and then I got into a big like reading slump. And honestly, I think that's most of the pictures. Some of these pictures are just there because they look nice. Oh, this picture also has a goal attached to it. I wanted to get into dance more because before I moved out for uni, I used to dance a lot, like 2 or 3 times a week. But then since moving to a new city, it was really hard for me to find a dance studio and get into a consistent routine with that. And I would say this year, I definitely did it more than I did last year, but I think this will also be one that I will have to carry into next year. Now, when making my vision board, something I like to do is look back on my resolutions and kind of find photos from Pinterest that kind of connect with those resolutions. Pinterest is the go-to place for any pretty aesthetic photos. So for example, one of my goals in 2025 was to wake up earlier in the morning. So I'll just go on Pinterest and find a photo of like a sunrise or something like that that fits with the overall aesthetic that I want my vision board to look like. Okay, so I finished my vision board. As I said earlier, a lot of it is based on the resolutions that I created for myself, as well as just the overall vibe I want my year to be like. I think when reflecting, the general themes of my life this year is going to be a lot of stepping out of my comfort zones, as well as staying disciplined and consistent to make sure I reach a lot of the resolutions that I set for myself. Now, once I create this vision board, what I like to do next is set it as my home screen. And yeah, now you can see my old wallpaper has been changed and this is going to be my new wallpaper for probably the rest of this year. Something I do though is if I feel like something has changed, I will just go and change a picture here or there, or I'll like reformat it if I think it's not very aesthetically pleasing. But okay, now for the third step of my reset, something I do have is a Notion page, and my life is pretty much completely tracked on here. This was my Notion page for 2024. As you can see, this is like the overall color scheme I kind of went for, and how I separated my Notion is on my homepage. I had a life section, a university section, and then a library section, and I find that that's all that I needed for myself personally. So firstly, we'll go into my life section. There's this cute little gif with a cute little quote, and then these are links to the university or library section if I need to go back really quickly. And then under this kind of got a bit messy, but I just have like pages made for random things I need in my life. So for example, I actually don't know why these are here. That should probably go in the university section. So for example, last year when I was training for my half marathon, I had a half marathon page in here with my training schedule, which I was following. Now, going back, I also have my university sections, but basically these are the current classes that I had, and then within each section I would have like the notes that I took in each of the classes. And then there was a little countdown I had for my exams, but obviously I don't have them right now. And then I also had a weekly planner because oftentimes all of my courses, there'd be like weekly tutorial activities or something like that. So all the weekly stuff that I had to do, I kind of put that here and I assigned it by priority, basically like if it was going to contribute to my grade or not. I had this big section for assessments as well, just so I can keep track of the weighting, when it's due, the type of assessment, things like that. And obviously that's separated by each class that I did. And then obviously I don't have any right now, but like this section up here would be inputted into this calendar down here, so I could kind of see that more visually, I guess. Now lastly, onto my library section. So these are all the books I read this year, and then I tracked it by rating, genre, the date finished, the format which I read the book, if I own the physical copy, the number of pages of the book, and if I DNF'd the book. And then back to the home screen, just below these 3 sections, I have my daily to-do list. So obviously it's quite bare right now because I'm in my holidays, so I honestly don't have a lot of stuff that I actually have to get done. But yeah, that's just like a quick little tour of my Notion that I have. In terms of the reset, I would say this is already pretty resetted, but something I do want to do is duplicate this. So this will be my 2024 Notion, and then I want to make a 2025 Notion just so I can delete everything completely. Okay, I finally figured out how to duplicate it, so I think I'll turn this into my 2025 Notion now. And this daily to-do list is actually already up to date, so I don't think I'm really going to touch that. But in this life section, I do want to delete all of this because none of this is really relevant. So this is all fresh and ready to go now, and I think the way I organized it last year probably wasn't the best by just like adding new pages. So I think I don't actually use this page too much, but I think if I do end up using it more, I'll end up splitting it into like categories for me to find, so that will make it a bit easier. Now onto my library page, I will reset this counter. Now in terms of my goals, I think these two can stay here. I think I can delete this one. I'll keep this one, and I think I can delete this one as well. Now in terms of my reading log, I have to reset all of this. Now for this university page, I think I'll do that a little bit closer to when uni starts because I don't have the course outline for any of the courses that I'm taking yet. So basically I don't know any assessments or anything like that, so I don't think there's much point in doing that just yet. But yeah, my Notion has pretty much all been reset now, and so this is ready to use for 2025. Now for the next thing, something I think we all need to do more is clean out our camera rolls, and I'm definitely guilty of this. Now any of my friends who know me know that I love taking photos, so looking at my Photos app, I literally have like 47,000 photos and videos. So obviously looking at that, that is not a usual number of photos that you should be having in your camera roll. So something I want to do at the start of this year is to just take a day, listen to an audiobook, sit in bed and just go through all of my photos. I don't think I have time to do that today, but I'm putting this in the video to hold myself accountable and to remind you guys that you should also probably do a cleanse of your camera roll. Now let's talk about the fifth thing I want to reset, which is my iPad. Now this is what my iPad looks like. I've had it for ages now, but I've never really been an iPad kid, so that's why my iPad kind of looks like this, like it's actually a big mess. I would say that I only ever use my iPad for note taking, so I use GoodNotes a lot, but other than that I literally never use my iPad, and I feel like this clutter might be part of the reason why. And what I'm doing here with my iPad, you can definitely also take that and do it with your phone as just like a decluttering type of exercise. Now the first thing I'm going to do is remove these widgets because I don't even ever use these. Actually I do use this one, so I'll keep this. Next I'm going to go through all of my apps and just delete anything that I don't use. I don't even really use Shazam on my phone. I don't know why it's on my iPad. Why do I have so many notifications for Discord? I literally used this app in high school back when I studied chemistry, but it's been like 3 years since then, so I don't know why I still have that. So here are all my apps right now I have compiled on my home screen that I actually use. So I think I'm going to have a page for my home life and then a page for uni. My home screen and lock screen are very boring, so that's the next thing I'm going to change. For those who don't know how to change app icons, I'll just quickly show you here. So what you do is add a new shortcut, press open app, and then you can rename this whatever app you're trying to change the icon of. So I'll just name mine GoodNotes. And for the app, I choose GoodNotes. And then I come over here and press add to home screen. So then I press this, press choose photo, press the photo I want, zoom in, scale it. This one's a bit blurry, but because the icons are so small, you can barely tell anyway, so it's honestly fine. And then now I have GoodNotes as a little icon. Okay, so now that I'm finally finished, I added a few more touches, so let me give you an iPad tour.
This is the lock screen I decided to go with. I thought it was such a cute picture, so I just had to choose it. Overall, I chose like a white/cream and pink kind of color scheme, and I really tried to keep things very minimalist. So I literally only have these 2 pages that I just showed and then like a random widget. But honestly, for myself, I think that's all that I actually need.
I personally think it turned out so cute, and I think this will definitely incentivize me to use my iPad a lot more now. Overall, those are the 5 things that I did for my 2025 reset. I hope that walking through a few of these things inspired you to hopefully implement a few of the things as well. I still can't believe how quickly 2024 finished. I think that really just taught me to live in the moment a bit more. So in 2025, that's definitely something I'll be doing. Now, one more of my resolutions for 2025 is to start posting on YouTube. So if you like my content so far, please subscribe and follow along. But yeah, that is all for this video. I hope to see you around soon. Bye!